Sports with your host, Jay Pops. Guys, it is July. The days, well, 2 days date. It's July 10th, 2022, people. We are back for another fun edition of the Homemade Podcast Sports. So what is going on? What has been going on lately? Well, I will go ahead and start out by this here. The heat is what's going on in Houston, Texas. All right, in Texas, period. As of right now, it is 105 degrees out here. It is very hot, and this is by far the wrong state to have over 100-degree weather. All right, and we're talking about a serious 100-degree weather to where it is no humidity. It's no wind blowing, nothing. So just to let you guys know, it is a heat advisory. I'm seeing now that it's 108 in College Station. So you guys want to know what everybody's doing right now? Well, everybody's trying to stay cool. All right, and I mean everybody. We're all trying to stay cool. It is just nothing out here, man. But anywho, there is something else that's going on around the nation. It's recruiting. It's recruiting, people. And we're going to talk about some other things as well. Please forgive me. My work schedule has changed. I go from 10:30 to now. I go from 10 a.m. to now 8:30. So I know you guys haven't seen the podcast all week. My apologies on that. But I will come back out and I will start doing a lot of things. It's just all about a matter of getting the schedule together. I can't do it in the morning because Texas ads do theirs in the morning, and I'm up watching that. Okay, so guys, we can't do that. I see a lot of you guys checking in from all over Texas here. College Station, Uvalde. You're checking in there. So I just want to thank all of you guys for sitting back, being patient with me. And hey, rest assured, we're going to have a darn good show right now. All right. So what is the latest? Let's start with recruiting. What is the latest? What is going on with Texas A&M right now, man? Why are we not getting any commits? I know a lot of you guys want to know this. I've been seeing. I'm all over Twitter. So I have been doing some research. I've been keeping in touch with a lot of people that's associated with the program, associated with the recruiting, stuff like that. So the reason why we haven't been getting people like that is because these are timely made decisions, okay? First and foremost, man, it's summertime. A lot of these kids are at camp. A lot of these kids may be on family vacation, things of that nature. So we just really have to sit back and see, man. Please, guys, get yourself some water out there. So another thing is this, man. You're seeing a lot of these guys commit elsewhere with Texas A&M being in their group. Now, this is what I've learned, and this is just from talking to some people inside of the program. A lot of these guys that are committing and saying that Texas A&M is in their top group, some of it is, how do I want to say this? I'm just flat out saying it. Some of it is a lie because Texas A&M was never in the top group and things of that nature. But because of the simple fact that Texas A&M had that #1 recruiting class, when these guys are putting Texas A&M in there, it's making them seem maybe a bit more than what they really are. All right, so I don't know if that makes sense or not. Probably need to change the words up, but that is what I've learned. Once again, a lot of these guys that are putting Texas A&M in their top group and saying that pick such and such over Texas A&M and then Alabama and Georgia and stuff like that. Now Dante Moore, in which just committed to Oregon. Now we were indeed in that young man's top group. We were really there. We were looking for a commitment in him, but Oregon was always the top dog in that committee. All right. Once again, man, we were really recruiting Dante Moore. Now did that one hurt? It did, but to a certain extent, because how later on in the process, Dante, we all had pretty much knew, and this is from people on the inside of the program and everything. They had pretty much knew that Dante had already made his mind for it. All right, so it is what it is on that one, and you just have to let that be. You gotta let that be. Now another one that really shocked me, and we were every bit of indeed in this young man's top as well because we were recruiting him. Is Jaylen Brown. For the longest though, man, I thought Jaylen Brown was going to go to Miami. I honestly thought he was going to go to Miami. I do not know what Brian Kelly said to me. I do not know what that coaching staff in general said to Jaylen Brown. And Jaylen Brown is a 5-star wide receiver that committed to LSU, if you guys did not know. He was the 5-star wide receiver. So we're talking about 2 5-stars here. Off the board. Jaylen Brown was completely off the board. Dante Moore's completely off the board. He will not flip. Those 2 guys will not flip anywhere. They're committed. I know it's early, and a lot of you guys are going to say, "Oh, well, man, we're still up in July, man. It's still early." Both of those guys will flip. I'm telling you guys what I know. Those guys will not flip anytime soon. All right, so we have to really leave those guys out of the picture, man. I'm sorry. So it is what it is on that. Like I say now, a couple of these guys, including one that just committed on today. I think it's Chadavion Bradley. You heard me rave about that young man. He's a 5-star defensive end. I really did want him. 5-star edge rush, I really did want him. Now, for whatever reason, the push wasn't really as big to land him. Alright, and a lot of you guys got to understand what I'm saying right there. It wasn't as big. However, we were in the top. That was a young man that we really were pushing for. It's just later on in that time frame, A&M just kind of backed off. You know, kind of just, you know, like slightly start easing back. But make no mistake about it, we were in his top. Alright, we really did want him. I don't know what happened right there. I'm really not sure. For all I know, he may have just wanted to stay close to home. But then again, man, Tennessee was really recruiting. Alright, so you also got to understand the nature of Tennessee. Tennessee wanted their Walter Nolan back. Alright, because Tennessee for the longest, and they'll continue to tell you this, they really wanted Walter Nolan to stay at home. No, man, you're not really hearing me right there. When we took Walter Nolan out of the state of Tennessee, Tennessee got very upset behind it. All right, now I don't know who all may have sent the man some things probably and stuff like that, but Tennessee was very upset. Please, guys, forgive me 1 second. Gosh, I hate to get up here and live, but hey guys, this is exciting. You have to give me for a second, man, because I had that thing going absolutely into my face. And I'm not trying to get sick, whatsoever, because the thing is going right. It's hot. Say the least. And I'm in my garage here, in the studio. But I don't want to come down sick and stuff like that. But anywho. So back to what I was saying, man. Tennessee is very upset. Okay, so they felt like if they could make a push to get themselves another Walter Nolan, well, they're just going to just about do it. Now, I'm not saying that the young man is up to the caliber that Walter Nolan was, because Walter Nolan was really the number 1 player in the class. All right, but it was always a battle between him and the guy that went out there to Jackson State. All right, so it was always pretty much a battle, but Walter Nolan was number 2 player in the class. All right, that every bit of hurt Tennessee home. Anywho, so I see somebody said, how many of these recruits are going to be at the pool party at the end of July? Well, it's a bunch of them. If you guys follow me on Twitter, I did post the list out. I will go to that list and I will tell you. So let me get on my Twitter here. So, how many of those recruits will be at the pool party? Just a number, because it just sounds like you want a number here. be about 12 guys so far. All right, I'm just giving you a number right now. So as of right now, so far as guys that are committed or even uncommitted, it's about 12 guys. Now, of course, this list will get bigger over time. It's just these are all the guys that are pretty much confirmed at the moment. Okay, so once again, that list will continue to keep growing. The pool party is on July 29th, I believe, and that's the week that Malik Muhammad and Anthony Hill both will be on official visits. All right, the only one that will be on the unofficial is David Hicks, if I'm not mistaken. So David Hicks will be on the unofficial visit. He doesn't want to use it yet. I believe that he wants to come back for a game. This is a guy that I will keep an eye on. He most likely will be back for the Miami game. All right, so once again, man, just to give you guys some intel on recruitment right now, Shandavion Bradley, 5-star edge rusher, he did commit to Tennessee over Texas A&M and South Carolina. And there's gonna be a lot of people say, God, dog, man, this boy going to Tennessee, not Tennessee over A&M. So it does make you turn some heads. However, man, like I said before, if you guys follow me on Twitter, and I'm glad I got a phone here. If you guys follow me on Twitter, like I just mentioned not too long ago, you guys will see, listen to me now, you guys will see a lot of these guys fly off the big board that will read mostly pick such and such over Texas A&M. Make no mistake about it, A&M is after some elite prospects in 2023. 13 in the top 100 and 6 are in the top 30 alone, regardless if they are committed or not. Now you guys can take that with a grain of salt all you want to, and you use it to your own context. But we are in the mix for a lot of top 100 prospects type of guys. So far as in the top 300, it is a good amount of number. But we only have 5 guys committed at the moment. I believe in this class we will take about 22 to 23 prospects, and that will be about it. All right, you guys got to keep in mind, man. Mainly in the defensive backfield, some of the guys on one of the guys on the O-line, maybe a couple of defensive line prospects as well. I mean, defensive line guys as well. That's already there. I'm talking about guys that's already there. Most of these guys will even go to the NFL, especially in that defensive backfield. It will be a good handful of guys in that defensive backfield that will either graduate or they're going to get drafted in the NFL. So we can only take a small amount. 2024 though, we're opening the whole thing back up and going to take at least probably 28 to 30 guys. All right, so just like I say, man, just keep that in mind. 2022, we will not have the number 1 class. If we have the number 1 class, then that means Jimbo Fisher and his coaching staff just said, man, you know what, the heck, we're just gonna bring in a lot of guys, but we will not have a number 1 class. However, if we land the guys that we really, really want, we would end up with, from what I'm hearing and from what I see, if we end up with the guys that we really, really want, like I said, regardless of if guys are committed or not, if they're committed, of course we got to flip it. We may just end up with like a top 4 to 5 class, which will be absolutely outrageous. You would have to go down that list and really look at those names. But just please keep that in mind, all right? So, anywho, guys, let's keep moving along here, man. So let's get into it. So this is what we're looking at. This is what I put out there, and I put this out there on Twitter, and I got quite a bit of feedback on this, but these are some things that you guys need to know, man, going into the season. First and foremost, I put some out, and this is coming from Sports SG1 on the YouTube page. You guys need to go and check that out if you all get a chance here. is what I put out. I put out, ever since Jumbo Fisher's arrived, the top 10. Now we're just going to start with that top 10. So top 10 wins. Top 10. When we're just talking about win and losses here. In the Jumbo Fisher era down in College Station. Alright, listen to it. Texas A&M is 3-6 against top 10 teams. Yes. Yes, people. Jumbo Fisher is 3-6 against top 10 teams. Okay? Now, for all intent purposes, this isn't a very good stat, to say the least. However, Alabama, Clemson, LSU, and Georgia were all ranked in the top 5 at some point, and also playoff teams, okay? This is where else I will go with. Texas A&M was also ranked talent-wise in those 4 years as 2018, 16, 2019, 12, 2020, 11, 2021, 8. Georgia, Alabama, LSU, and Clemson were all ranked talent-wise in the top 10 perspective. Depth chart, not the depth behind each position, is everything in college football. I'm telling you guys what I know. So you got to ask yourself, okay, well, against top 10 opponents, he's 3-6. 3-6. Now on Sports SG1 on YouTube, this is the record that the guy that does that show gave Texas A&M. 8-4. 8-4 is the record that he gave us. I'm seeing a lot of over and unders, 8.5 as well. I told you guys once before, I do not believe in that. I'm not understanding where they're getting that from, but in a sense, I do understand why they're saying 8-4 for this particular season in general. Okay, so I'm gonna break that down in just a minute here. So I look over. I say, okay, I got that. What is the actual record in top 25 games, excluding the bowl games? All right, so once again, I'm excluding the bowl game. What is the actual record then? So with top 25 wins, so this is Jumbo Fisher with top 25 wins. All right, head coach Jumbo Fisher is 5-10 against top 25 teams, excluding the bowl games. The home record. This is why I really never worry about the home. You know, when we're playing at home and stuff. This is what I hardly ever worry about under Jumbo Fisher, because he protects his home like crazy. So this is the home record. 5-3. The away record is what's always going to get you. And now I'm breaking you guys into what these guys look at so far as analytical data, into how they make their picks year in and year out. I'm going to take you guys back to, no. When I finish this, I'll take you guys back to another year, and that'll give you a pretty good example, okay? So, this is the reason as to why college football, the college football world doesn't actually believe that Texas A&M isn't going to win a lot this year. I'm sorry. So I cut out the other part. Our away record is the one that's going to catch all of you guys' attention. And this is why I need you guys to pay attention to that schedule. Pay attention to all of those games this year, just like I know you guys are. And this is going to really determine if this team can be stepping up into that elite category, can they be stepping up into the very good category, or are they still on that mediocre rampage? Our away record is 0-7. Now I'm gonna say this once again. This is against top 25 teams ever since Jumbo Fisher's been head coach. 0-7. This is where this Texas A&M team has to learn how to win. Okay? This is the reason to why you have the professionals in the industry picking Texas A&M to go one way, and most of them picking them to go this way. It's because of the away record. They look at the year. Now, I'm going to take you guys back. You look to 2019, if it wasn't a COVID year, that was the reason to why they were picking Texas A&M to be a playoff team. That's why. The next following year, which was in 2020. I'm sorry. So that 2020 year was the reason to why they were picking Texas A&M to be a playoff team in the playoff bubble. That 2021 year, the following year, because we came off 9-1 season, the following year, we were actually picked to go to the playoffs. Like literally, we were picked to win it. We were picked to win the SEC West and actually win the SEC. Believe it or not, you know, maybe not by many because there's a lot of people that had already picked Georgia to win the SEC. But we were actually picked to at least win the SEC West. Alright? And the reason because was that, like I said, we were coming off that 9-1 season. Haynes King was the guy. And this was, and nobody ever looked at this, including myself, barring injury. We could have looked at that season a little bit better and strategically if we would have at least start adding, okay, but what if these guys get injured? You know, and none of us looked at that for whatever reason. Alright, the same thing could be said for 2019. None of us really looked at that season after that first 9-4 season that Jimbo Fisher had in 2018. None of us thinks about the injury bug that could potentially harm this football team. So now I put this all into play as to going into this year. So this is what I said. I do believe that the away record will change this year. All right, especially with the talent that's coming in there and with the talent that has already been there. All right, the only thing that sticks in your mind about Texas A&M is the simple fact of that they have to learn how to block out the noise of being on a road and being a quote-unquote overhyped football team. Because this is the thing that these guys will call them, overhyped. They have to get used to having a target on their back wherever they walk to, or whatever stadium they walk to. Understand that when they meet up with Miami in week 3 this year, they will have a target on them, even if they're at home. They're the home field team. This is the reason to why I'm not overly concerned about playing Miami at home. I'm not overlooking them at all, but we're playing at home. I feel more comfortable playing at home than I would feel playing Miami on the road. Okay, and that's just me, man. That's why I'm giving Texas A&M that win. Okay, I will give them that win. I believe that Miami will be ranked. I believe that Texas A&M will be ranked. It will be a top 25 showdown. I'm not going to say top 15 because Miami deserves nothing to be in top 15 at that point, in my opinion. Regardless of what they're doing. It's only 3 games. They hadn't played no opponents, just like Texas A&M hadn't really played no opponents. I'm sorry. You know, none of these teams will have played anybody in week 1 or week 2. All we're doing is just really getting ready and getting prepared for the showdown on September 17th. That will be the measuring stick for Miami and a measuring stick for Texas A&M. Now, you guys can believe what you want to believe, but that will be the undoubtedly measuring stick for both of these teams. Now, so far as Texas A&M is concerned, when we get up to Arkansas, that's going to be our measuring stick so far as the SEC is concerned. All right, so this is when it's about to get really, really interesting. All right, so you're coming into everything, and now I got to give you the reason to why Texas A&M is quote-unquote overhyped. This is what people believe when they actually see Texas A&M and when they see Jimbo Fisher. You guys have to listen to me and listen to what I'm going here. Now, Alabama fans, they're going to say something else, but at the same time, they really know what's going on and why Jimbo Fisher and Texas A&M is picked to be one of the sleeper teams. Georgia as well. We're just talking about some SEC teams here. Georgia as well. They also know to why the reason of Texas A&M is being picked to be like this and then like that. All right. So the reason why, and this is the reason why, because of the simple fact You guys forgive me on that. But because of the simple fact of this here, the New Year's Six bowl records. Now this is the New Year's Six bowl records. All right. So we're just talking about the SEC. I'm not going to add Jimbo Fisher's Florida State days in here or none of that. So New Year's Six bowl record, and this is why they have these coaches ranked 1, 2, and 3. Nick Saban is 7-1. Okay, listen. Nick Saban is 7-1. New Year's Six bowl records. Kirby Smart, which is number 2, is ranked. Is 4-1. 4 wins, 1 loss. Jimbo Fisher comes in at that 3rd spot because he is the next residing coach that is in the SEC that has went to a New Year's Six bowl and has been playing in the SEC. 1-0. This is the reason. All right. Now a lot of people factor in Florida State with Jimbo Fisher and stuff like that. I'm not going to add that. I'm just going to say ever since he's been at Texas A&M, once again, Nick Saban is 7-1 in New Year's Six bowls. Kirby Smart is 4-1 New Year's Six bowls. Jimbo Fisher is 1-0 in New Year's Six bowls. Okay, that's why they have them in that order: 1, 2, 3. So, is it put up or shut up this year? Of course it is. It is. So, this is what I will say, because I look at this Texas A&M team as potentially being an undefeated team. And you guys need to check out that SEC podcast as well with Mike and cousin Shane over there. And those guys done a really good breakdown on Texas A&M and why they believe that team is every bit, that this team has every bit of the ingredients to go undefeated if, I'm going to say it like this, if they choose to do so. Okay? Now, stars have to align maybe on that, but they can every bit of go undefeated. This team can match up with Alabama, just like Georgia can. They can match up with Georgia, just like Alabama can. They can match up with LSU, beat them. All of these teams I just mentioned, Texas A&M can go out there and beat those teams. Okay? Now, it's going to be very hard to do because I didn't say that it was going to be easy. I did not say it at all. So, these are the games. So now let's go through them. Let's go ahead and go through these games. And these are my early predictions. Okay? And I will stand alone on this, but I will also stand alone on something else to when I go that route as well. So, this is what we have here. This is the official schedule. These are my early predictions. These are my way too early predictions. And this is what I have here. This is what I have. A lot of people are going to call me delusional and stuff like that, but that's fine. You know, like I say, these are way too early predictions. But this is because of the talent that's on the roster. This is because of the coaches that has been there. I know DJ Durkin is new, but DJ Durkin's staff isn't brand new. This is what I don't get about what guys are saying right here. His defensive staff is not new. That defensive backfield is one of the more veteran backfields in all of college football. Probably the number 1 veteran backfield in all of college football. So, CBS Sports that came out with something, and they said Texas A&M ranks at number 2 so far as the backfield is concerned with the defensive backs. All right, so the defensive back unit, they rank number 2 in all of college football. Number 1 was Georgia. Okay? So, anywho, listen to me on this. Early predictions. So, we're going to go from there. All right, this is what we have. Way too early predictions. First off, Texas A&M 12-0 or 11-1. I'm not giving this team a 10-2. I'm not giving this team a 10-2 record. A lot of that is saying over and under 10-2. I think Alabama came out with that 10-2. I just don't see the second loss. I do not. Of course, we didn't see those losses last year either. But I don't see the second loss, barring injuries. I can see no losses, barring injuries. I understand you guys saying this about the quarterbacks. Anywho, let's get into it. So the first game, September 3rd, Sam Houston. This is a home game on the SEC Network, people. 11 a.m. This will be an 11 a.m. kickoff. I will mark this game as a win. Alright, I will mark this as a win. 50-7. Alright, I'm going to say that again. 50-7. I will mark that as a straight win. Alright, let me go back here. I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm sorry about that. But I will mark that as a win. Second game, September 10th. Home game, Appalachian State. This will be on ESPN2 at 2:30 p.m. Just like I said, I'm going to mark this as a win as well. 45-7. Understand what I just said right there. Both of these games, I'm giving the opponents 7 points apiece. That is all that I can give them. But I'm giving Texas A&M a lot of points here. All right. First game, win 50-7, Texas A&M. Second game, win 45-7, Texas A&M. All right. So now we get to the third game. Now this is the interesting thing. September 17th, 2022. Once again, this is another home game, 8 o'clock p.m. ESPN. I believe College Game Day will be there. I will be there. Trust me. I will be there. Me and Eric Crenshaw, which is the guy that's been coming on here with me, we will both be there. Okay? Game day will be there. This will be the most electric game at Kyle Field, and this will be the first time in a long time where College Game Day sets up the whole broadcast out there. Now, College Game Day doesn't come out there at Texas A&M, then at this point, I think they're really saying something to Texas A&M. Either they don't like them or it's something that's going on right there. But they will be there, and I understand the hype. Miami is going to be really good. I've seen on Sports SG1 where that guy said Miami will go 11-1. I could not believe what I had seen. Oh man, he loves the staff. He thinks that team is very good. Tyler Van Dyke is a Heisman candidate. Everything. I seen Miami spring game. It was pretty good. Spring game didn't tell you everything. I know this. Miami does not scare me. Okay? I'm going to say this once again. Miami does not scare me at all. I believe that our defense will be way too much to handle, especially in the backfield, because Miami is going to throw the ball a lot. I believe our defensive backfield is way too much of a veteran type of team back there, and they're going to do a whole lot. All right. So, anywho, this is what I'm looking at here. Also, man, I believe that our offense will be clicking at a high cylinder in this game. This is barring no injuries. Barring no injuries, people. And, okay, so when I say no injuries, I'm talking about really the main players. If it's like about 1 or 2 guys hurt, okay, fine. I can deal with that, and I'll still make this prediction. If it's about 3, 4, 5 guys hurt already, we haven't even much gotten into the season like that, then at that point, we're kind of looking at something here, but then again, the depth chart is very thick at this point. This game, my way too early prediction, 42-21, Texas A&M. Now, once again, I've been seeing kind of quite a few people kind of picking Miami to upset A&M. Oh, man. I just highly doubt that. Jimbo Fisher doesn't play at home. I understand that he's lost to Auburn at home. He lost to Alabama at home. As well as to a lot more other teams at home. But those teams were all ranked in like the top 5, man. I do not see Texas A&M losing this football. I do not see this game being very close when the game is all said and done. The score that I'm going to say I'm going to go with, once again, 42-21. I seen Mario Cristobal at Oregon last year. Okay? Now, people can say what they want to about Oregon, but I'll pick Oregon over Miami any day. Okay? And he had every bit of all of the talent at Oregon than what he's going to have at Miami. Oregon is a way better football team than what Miami is right now. Now, if we were playing Oregon, that would be a totally different story. But the guy just got there in Miami. You cannot. Now this is going to be that would be a marquee win, to say the least. I know he went up there and he beat Ohio State, but even after he beat Ohio State, he lost to Utah twice. Utah was a very good football team, but how the way he lost to Utah. The man lost to Stanford, for crying out loud. And Stanford was like a 5-17 or something. I know he lost to LSU. The LSU at least got to the bowl game. You know, so you guys can say that all you want to, man, but at least LSU got to the bowl game. But I'm not going to believe that hype. I will say at home, if we go on the road, I will not make that prediction to be that far. 42-21, Texas A&M at home, market a win. All right, against Miami. So we keep going here. September 24th at Arkansas. Neutral site game. I wish they would change this already. I do not like Jared World. I wish they would change this. Anywho, we'll talk about it anyway. September 24th, 2022. We don't know what time this is going to be. Depending on if Arkansas walks into the game undefeated, this will be a top 25 matchup. I still feel good about Texas A&M in this game, and I'm going to mark that as a win. Okay? 35-14, Texas A&M. Now, this game could go every bit of down all the way to the wire. We could be looking at a 35-31 type of ball game, or we could be looking at a 35-28 type of ball game. All right, so just depending on what Arkansas team shows up today, and it depends on what A&M team shows up today. Once again, Barney, but we just got so much talent, man. It's way too much talent on this roster. And I'm not talking about the 2021 recruiting class. I'm talking about all of them combined. Okay, so just believe me on that. So I'm gonna mark that as a win, 35-14. Way too early prediction. Texas A&M. And then I see a lot of people picking that game as a win for Texas A&M as well. So I just want to let that out there. So October 1st, 2022. Now this is where this schedule gets really interesting. It got interesting at Arkansas because now we're about to go on the road 4 straight games. I'm going to say this once again. 4 straight games we're going on the road. Depending on if all of these teams are ranked, in which all of them probably will. They have to go out and they have to execute at their finest. This is when you will see if Texas A&M has turned the curve or not under the Jumbo Fisher regime. Okay? Once again, barring injury, but even if it is injury, you know, and if you don't have that many guys that's injured like that, I look for Texas A&M still to win most of these games, probably except one. So we're getting down to it. Away game, October 1st, 2022. Mississippi State, Mike Leach and company. I marked this game as a win. Way too early. And this is also with Will Robinson. Will Robinson tore us up last year. However, we don't have the same defensive backfield this go around like that. We don't have the same D-line like that, nor do we have the same defensive coach this go around, okay? A lot of you guys are going to look shocked, and a lot of you guys are going to look, scratching your head, how can you say that, stuff like that. Way too early. 42-17, Texas A&M. Listen to what I'm telling you guys, man. If I'm right on all of these predictions leading up to this game, we going in here undefeated, and they've scored, and and Texas A&M has scored well over 35 points a game so far. You can mark that as every bit of a win. 42-17, Texas A&M. All right, I'm really high on winning that football game. I'm not scared of Mississippi State. I don't know why other people are. I understand the overall record, stuff like that, but most of that overall record was all done by Kevin Sumlin, And for whatever reason, man, we just weren't really good against Mississippi State. Now I can say this here. Jimbo Fisher also has he's 2-2 against Mississippi State. You know, he really is 2-2. I don't know what it is about the Mississippi team, especially Mississippi State, because Ole Miss we kind of pretty much owned them. But Mississippi State is just been a thorn in our side, man. I don't know what it is about the team, man. Most of it was the damn well in there. So at one point we did go up against the number one team, but that was, you know, way back then. All right, so let's keep going here. This is the game that everybody feels like people are overhyped, and I heard a lot of guys say, man, if I'm a Texas A&M fan, I would want to turn away from this game because it's going to be real ugly. I've sat there and I looked at that Alabama spring game, and I'm doing my best to do the analytical data on this team and seeing what really scares me the most about each team. As I sat there and I watched that spring game with Alabama, Alabama looks every bit of just like Texas A&M. All right, I'm still not a high believer in Bill O'Brien. I would never be a high believer in Bill O'Brien. I'm sorry, that's just me. It ain't anything personal. It's just from what I've seen from him. All right, I do believe that he tries to stress on his quarterbacks oh so muchly. And Bill O'Brien is not a spread guy. So I don't know why you guys believe that Bill O'Brien has like a spread playbook. Bill O'Brien runs some of the same complicated plays as Jimbo Fisher does. It's a pro style, and he's very complicated. It's a lot of guys in the NFL that didn't even much understand his playbook. Now I'm pretty sure that has changed over time while he's been in Alabama. But I told you guys this last year as well, man. I don't believe in Bill O'Brien. Okay, that's just it. I'm very, very right about that. The committee is still out. One Bill O'Brien out there at Alabama. There's a lot of Alabama fans that don't like Bill O'Brien. Also, I'm not very high on the defense coordinator out there, Pete Golding. I'm not high on him. His defense doesn't scare me. I don't. You know, and the jury is still out on Pete Golding over at Alabama this week. All right, the thing that's been hiding both of these coaches, man, Bill O'Brien and Pete Golding, is the talent on the roster. That is the thing that's been hiding those two guys, period. It's the reason why Pete Golding hasn't left it. All right, also, I don't know why, but I tend to think that guys forget that Pete Golding has gotten in trouble over some as well. I don't look at Pete Golding as a role model, man. I don't. That ain't anything personal. Just from what I've seen, and then he had that whole situation. I'm not going to talk about that. That's his business. But you can't tell me that you're leading the team when your business is all out in the open. Period. I like the Alabama defense. I think they're going to be very good this year. However, I do not believe in the defense coordinator, and I do not believe in the offense coordinator. I still don't. And we went up against Alabama many, many times, man. Kirby Smart, as well as others there that have been in those positions, they will single-handedly outdo us. This time, man, I just really honestly feel like Texas A&M still has an edge over it. All right, so this is a 50-50 game, though. Do not get this twisted. We are on the road. All right? And once again, we're not a very good road team. I do think it will change. This is a 50-50 game. This game could go either way. 24-21. Texas A&M, 24-21. Alabama. That game could go both sides, man. Both ways. Boring injury. This Texas A&M team, if they lose, they will not be blown out. A lot of you guys need to believe in what I'm saying right there. They will not be blown out at all. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say, but that team will not be blown out. This is a 50-50 game. I did not mark this as a win. Okay, this is we would either win this game or we would lose this game. This is the reason why I say the 12-0, 11-1. Period. All right, so now we move on to the next thing. South Carolina, we go back on the road again. Now we go to South Carolina and Columbus. That game will be sold out. Anybody who does not believe that, man, you better check that South Carolina fan base. One more time. You better go and look and see what they do. One more time. We walk in with the biggest target on our back, especially if we beat Alabama. We're going to walk in there with the biggest target on our back ever. Ever. We're going to walk in there. Going to be undefeated. Man, if we walk in there undefeated, expectations. New Year's Six Bowl, of course. SEC West title on the line. SEC West title on the line, period. All right, we're going to walk in there if we're undefeated, man. I still got Texas A&M coming to their senses, knowing the guys that they have on their field, knowing their talent. 35-10 win for Texas A&M. I'm going to say it once again. 35-10 win for Texas A&M. Look, I'm not scared of South Carolina at all. And once again, Sports SG1, this guy picked us losing to Mississippi State, Alabama, South Carolina, and Miami. He had us 8-4. All of our road games, we lost, according to Sports SG1. This is what he's looking at. I have no clue why he's picking South Carolina to beat us, but I guess we'll find out. My prediction, way too early, 35-10 win, Texas A&M. By that time, the ball on that machine will be rolling so hard. Now, of course, we may have 1 or 2 injuries because guys are going to get hurt here. Let's all face it. That's what it is. On November 5th, 2020, October 29th, we're going back home. We have Ole Miss at home. This is our revenge game. This is clearly a revenge game because Ole Miss knocked us out of there. This is our revenge game, man. They're coming to Kyle Field. Kyle Field will be sold out for that game, particularly. I know that for sure. It will be really cold. It will be very cold out there. Mark that as a win. 45-21. Texas A&M. Look at these scores I'm giving you. That's basically saying I believe in our defense when nobody else will. I honestly believe that this defense will be a top 15 defense. Okay? Top 25, the top 15 is what I'm. So we move on. That's when November 5th, 2022, at home against Florida. If you guys know Jumbo Fisher by now, he does not like Florida. He does. I think that rivalry still sticks with him. He does not like Florida at all. Florida is going to be a very talented team. Do not come and think that Florida won't be talented. However, I think Jumbo Fisher gets the win easily, 38-10, Texas A&M. All right, let's move along here. November 12th, 2022. This is a game that people are giving us a toss-up, and I understand why. We're playing at Auburn. All right, man, we're playing in Jordan here. For whatever reason, we have a winning record against Auburn in Jordan here. Do you hear me? We have a winning record. I think that win streak keeps going. I honestly do. I'm going to go ahead and give this game a win. I'll mark this as a win as well. Early prediction here, 21-14 Texas A&M. This will be a top ball game up into the fourth quarter. Okay? Now, if you want to look at another loss, on this schedule, Auburn and Alabama are the only 2 teams that I can see beat Texas A&M. We just aren't good on the road against the Alabama team. All right, I can honestly say that. I can see Auburn being a loss, but then again, I can see Auburn being a win. All right, because Auburn does not have a quarterback that will scare you. Zach Calzada will be the starter for that game. But I believe Texas A&M is still coming in there on high cylinders, and they want to show Zach this is what you could have been. All right, so just believe and understand. So we keep going here. So now we go back home, November 19th, against UMass. I don't even talk about that game at all. That's going to be a win, most likely. At 11 o'clock kickoff, 62-0. Texas A&M. We're not even much letting them score points. Stop. 62-0. Texas A&M. All right. So now we keep going. November 26th. This is the annual rivalry right now. Under Jimbo Fisher, we have a winning record at home against LSU. Under Jimbo Fisher, we have a losing record away over there at LSU. I feel very comfortable at home, and I feel very comfortable in saying that this will be a win, 35-28. All right, understand what I just said right there, 35-28. I believe that Texas A&M will be up mostly in this ball game, but I believe that LSU tries to find that last comeback and they'll put 28 points on the board and try to get an onside kick. That's what I really, really believe in. We're not going to blow LSU out. Please do not come in here thinking that we're going to do that. We will not blow LSU out. None to it. 35-28, Texas A&M will win against LSU. I honestly believe that. LSU always plays us tough, and they're going to forever play us tough, no matter where we're at. All right, so 35-28, what I'm giving. Once again, my bold prediction for this Texas A&M football team, 12-0 or 11-0. All right, so that's all I have for you guys on today. We've been going for a really, really long time. I thank all of you guys for tuning in. But that is it, baby. That is it, and we're out. I pray that you guys have a blessed Sunday. Please get ready for Josh Pate at 7 o'clock, as well as I will. And that is it. All right. Hashtag Eagle Aggies. Please make sure you subscribe to the podcast. Also, look on my Twitter, and you can see that my wife is back selling county. Okay. I love all of you. Hashtag